welcome back to Coffee and a Chat. I haven't got a coffee. I've had too many coffees already. I'm a bit buzzy today. So I'm just laying off the coffee. I should have a hot chocolate. No, never mind. Anyway, I'll have something later. But more important than that, I want to talk to you. A chat. That's the half of Coffee and a Chat. We don't have the coffee, but we'll have the chat. First of all, it's the eve of a new era in model flying in Canada, and I have a video coming out in the next day or so, especially for my Canadian friends, because the rules there are going to change quite dramatically, and in some aspects, a good way, in other aspects, really bad way. So I'm going to let you know what you need to do, what you don't need to do, and some of the ways to avoid the problems that you could otherwise face. Try and bring you up to speed and give you some clues. Okay, so if you're in Canada, and I know it's not Canada. People put, it's not Canada, it's Canada. I know that. This is kind of it's an affectation for effect, but never mind. Anyway, thank you, trolls. I'll get doing a video on that. But more importantly, I'm going to be also doing a video on how we can protect the hobby moving forward. I hate that phrase. It's what politicians use when they've got nothing else to say. How can we protect the future of the hobby? Because at the moment it's looking pretty damn dim. We're increasingly being pushed into corners in terms of where we can fly, what we can fly, how we can fly, when we can fly. These new rules and regulations rolling out are basically turning our freedoms into privileges and then removing those privileges. So we've got to be pushing back, or we're just going to be pushed right off the face of the planet, and won't be to the moon either. So I have a plan. Always have a plan. And my plan involves leveraging an event which happens in July. It's the 50th anniversary of man's first walk on the moon, the first manned lunar landing, where Neil Armstrong went all the way from Cape Canaveral, or Kennedy, or whatever it was called at the time, to the moon, jumped out, walked around, said one small step, blah, 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 picked up some rocks and came home, along with Buzz Aldrin. So this was a monumental step in the history of mankind's exploration of space. Never before had we actually stood on another celestial body, and not even Pamela Anderson. But this time we did. We went to the moon, and we're celebrating 50 years, half a century ago. I was alive then. I wasn't quite this old. I was a little bit younger, but I recall it very, very clearly and vividly, and I think anyone who was alive at the time will also recall that. So it's going to be a big celebration, a big remembrance of that giant step that we took. And I want to tie the future of the hobby into that. And I think it's going to be easy to do because Neil Armstrong was an avid aero modeler. He was an avid model flyer. If you go to the AMA website or AMA YouTube channel, I've got a trailer for a video they're going to do about Neil Armstrong and his involvement in the hobby. And that's brilliant because through that, we can show the public, the great unwashed public who think we're all evil people trying to spy on them with cameras on our planes, we can show them that if it wasn't for this hobby, Neil Armstrong probably wouldn't have been the first man to step on the moon. It probably would have been someone with a very Russian-sounding name. And so it's a good thing that kids are allowed to enjoy the freedoms to enjoy the hobby, with the freedoms that are being taken from us. So we need to remind the public that, hey, this is actually a really important hobby for the future of mankind. Because without his involvement in model flying, Neil Armstrong probably wouldn't have got involved in full-size aviation, and from there moved on to aerospace and become an astronaut and led the path to the moon. So I have some ideas, some plans we can leverage this to our huge benefit as a hobby. And it's going to involve every single one of you doing something. So it's going to be a major investment of effort and time by everyone in the hobby. If you have the remotest consideration for this hobby, if you really want this hobby to survive, you're going to have to be involved. And I'll tell you what's involved in that in a future video, once I've dotted my I's and crossed my T's. So, but if you've got ideas, if you've got some thoughts, put them in the description of this video, because I'm just one guy and I'm full of ideas, but most of them are crap. So I'm sure you guys got better ideas, but my plans include the creation of the single largest model flying event in the history of mankind. So just as the landing on the moon was a watershed, a milestone in mankind's exploration of space, I want the 50th anniversary to be a milestone in the evolution of this hobby, a milestone that captures the public's attention and thrusts the hobby back into their hearts where it belongs. There you go. Ooh, passionate stuff, eh? Anyway, so tell me what you think. Tell me what you think while you're supping your coffee, and I'll go make myself hot chocolate. So that's it. Another brief little chat, and stay tuned. Video coming up for the Canadians, and a video coming up for the whole hobby, so that I can help, hopefully, lead the way into the future where our rights are preserved. and not eroded. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, thumbs up, thumbs down, click the button, bash the bell, and if you want to support the channel, there are links in the description. Go and have a look. Honest, there are. It's down there. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. See you at the next Coffee and a Chat.